Okay, Kim, just first and foremost, your opening thoughts on tonight's game.
Really, really good first half. Especially the start of the first half is one of the best we have made, at least this year. But one of the better since I came, I would say, especially in a tough away game with a big crowd. I think the start of the second half is decent as well, and they are not so dangerous until maybe 70, 75 or something like that. But then, of course, in the end, they put a lot of pressure. They scored a goal that from a free kick with almost no angle. I think it's way too easy from us to give them that kind of energy. That's not good enough from us. We need to do better there. But with that energy, with the crowd, they bring in top quality players, and they're forcing in the end. It's sometimes it works to defend home 3 points, but today we couldn't do it. But the girls was keep fighting for 90 minutes for sure. They did, but I think for us it's always tough to start with a away game after a national team break, I would say. And especially in LA, when it's we have to travel long and there's different time zone and things like that. So you can see it a little bit in the end, even if we used 4 subs, that we didn't have the energy for 90 really.
All right, well, I'll ask you all to raise your hand on the Zoom call here if you have a question. I know Becky is in the room there. Becky, go ahead with your question first.
So when they put their subs in, there was a huge injection of energy. What made you hesitate to put subs in and wait longer when, it seemed fairly evident, but especially when front line was starting to get tired and not able to keep pace?
Yeah, I mean, we had a plan how to stop it and stop their momentum, but it's difficult. Everybody can see that the players give them energy, the crowd give them energy. I mean, I think Lowe did pretty well. She had Thompson against her. She started and fighting with Ndu for 70 minutes, and then they bring in Thompson with her pace. But I think she did pretty well. And I mean, I don't want to move the defense line when they have defend so good over 90. And we did the changes with Ellie that she wasn't ready for 90 minutes, and Ari was only ready for 20 or something like that. So we did what we could today, I think. Yeah.
And can you tell us here the thought process behind putting Ellie next to Jay after Jay returned and continue playing Holloway and center back?
Yeah, it was a little bit later decision. Ari felt yesterday that she was a little bit sick. So we needed to make some changes there. It was not the easy decision, but I felt to keep the 4 defenders that have played now the first 2 games, to keep Ellie in the 6th position, because I also knew that she was probably not ready for 90 minutes. She had been away and played with a national team as well. So play Ellie as 8, for example, I felt she can maybe only do that for 45. If I play her as a 6, she can probably make at least longer, and that was my whole idea. And I know that Howell can run forever, so to use our legs in the best way, that was my plan about it.
And then final question, what did you see from Jalen today in her first return in the regular season in her first game as captain?
I think she did well, really good. It's difficult for her to play in a new position. She had played as a 6 the whole preseason. She played there the whole last season. And when it's finally her first game, the coach tell her, "You're gonna play 8." So of course it's tough, but she never complain over that. She know that she will have to do the best for the team and the teammates. So no problem at all.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll first go to Michael and then Tyler. Michael, go ahead.
The press looked really good in the first half, but obviously in the second half fell off a little bit. Was that more down to tactical switch on your side, or more just Angel City making it more difficult for you to put that press on?
Not really. Like I said, I think in the end of the game, we didn't have the energy. I think so. I mean, if you don't have the energy, you can't keep pressing. It's everything when you work with pressure. So we couldn't do it. That was not the plan. And of course, like we have seen it in all leagues, in the men's football and women's football. When they have the momentum, they go for it. The home game, you drop down a little bit lower and a little bit lower, and in the end, you just pray it's gonna work. Yeah.
And then last question from me. Racing last year struggled also to hold leads, and the first lead this year, a 2-goal lead, slipped away again. Is that something that from a mentality perspective you'll have to work on, or is that just the way the game goes? Because it just seems like just having difficulty holding a lead is something that's plagued the team last year, and just kind of came up and bit them again today.
I think you're totally right when we're talking about the team last year, but not this year. And players, they will answer the same thing, that we feel that we're a team that keep working in 90 minutes. And we saw it against Washington when we did the same thing like LA did today. So they work hard. It was just, I think today we missed too many pieces in the same time. We had a late decision with Kanu, for example, that she couldn't play. That was a 50-50 almost into the end. She had a smaller injury from her national team training. And Wang couldn't play. She's still in China. Also a player that had played like almost every single game. So if you move too many pieces, and you also need to take away pieces, not even on the bench, then it's of course difficult. We have still a good squad, but I mean to repeat and keep working from your same position in the same model, that means so much, especially in a tight game like this and in the end of the game.
Yeah, Kim, you kind of touched on it. It's strange to have a game where you come back from down 2-0 to draw, and then it flips in this game. What was your message to the team about that, like afterwards? If you touched on it that specifically, or just a general message to them afterwards?
It was maybe not so much of a message, I think, for the whole group, that and the staff and the med team, to try to give the player the energy when it's come to food and water or energy drinks or whatever it is, to do the best today, and they did it. But like I said, we didn't have really the energy to go for 90, maybe 75, something like that today. And of course, also like I said, there were many late decision, I would say. Normally Ari starts this kind of game, and she did a training in Louisville. She felt okay, she said, but then when we started to travel, we arrived to LA, she started to feel a little bit with her throat or something like that. And with Kanu, we hoped that she could at least make some minutes in this game, but she couldn't. So again, it's small excuses, but yeah, it is what it is today.
Anything else for Kim? All right. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.